Alright, so good morning guys. So I apologize nga dugay gid og accept no. Sige, so let us continue our last reporter. And after the report, so I will be having an announcement po. Okay, you may start.
Good morning, everyone. Our group will share to you a new topic that tackles about project handover and closure. Next slide. I will open this new topic with a discussion about closing the project. Include next. In closing a project, you must create a handover document. A handover document is a comprehensive record that outlines all relevant information about a project as it transitions from one phase to another or from one team to another. And then you must finish the procurements, document lessons learned, to list resources, and celebrate. Next slide. Next is project testing and its test plan. Project testing is a group of activities designated for investigating and examining progress of a given project to provide stakeholders with information about actual levels of performance and quality of the project. It is an attempt to get an independent view of the project for stakeholders to evaluate and understand potential risks of project failure or mismatch. The purpose of testing phase is to evaluate and test declared requirements, features, and expectations regarding the project prior to its delivery in order to ensure the project matches initial requirements stated in specification documents. Next slide. There are six common activities of the phase to test a project against performance and quality levels. First is analysis. Stakeholders, including the project team, analyze project specifications to determine testable requirements and define expected levels of quality and performance. This involves understanding the project objectives, user needs, and functional requirements to establish criteria for testing. Next is planning. So the team creates a detailed plan outlining key procedures and steps for testing. This includes defining test objectives, selecting testing methods and tools, allocating resources, and establishing timelines for each testing phase. So next is development. So the team develops test scenarios based on the plan created during the planning phase. So task scenarios are designated to validate specific aspects of the project, such as functionality, usability, performance, and security. This may involve writing test cases, scripts, or scenarios to simulate user interactions and system behavior. Next is implementation. So this phase involves implementing the test scenarios outlined in the development phase. Testers execute the test cases, scripts, or scenarios to assess the project's performance and quality against the defined criteria. This may include conducting functional testing, regression testing, performance testing, and other types of testing as needed. So next is reporting. Once testing is complete, the team summarizes the results produced and creates a report documenting the findings. The report includes an evaluation of whether the project meets the expected quality and performance level based on the defined criteria. It may also include recommendations for improvements or further testing if necessary. So next is review and feedback. After the report is generated, stakeholders review the findings and provide feedback. This feedback may include validations of the results, identification of areas for improvement, or requests for additional testing or analysis. The review process helps ensure that the testing process is thorough and that any issues or concerns are addressed before the project moves forward. So in general, these properties here these properties here are indicates the extent to which the component or system under test. So first property is that it meets the requirements that guided its design and development. Next is it responds correctly to all kinds of input. Next is that it performs its functions within an acceptable time frame. Next is that it demonstrates sufficient usability. Next is that it can be installed and run in its intended environment. And lastly, it achieves the desired overall result as expected by stakeholders.
So now let's talk about test plan. So what is a test plan? Why is it important? Who are the people involved? And what are the processes in test planning? So what is a test plan? A test plan is a detailed document that outlines the objective, strategies, timeline, goals, estimation, deadlines, and resources needed for the successful completion of a project. It provides a framework that is designed by QA managers to provide clarity about the necessary tests that you need to verify to ensure the proper functioning of the project. So, a test plan is like a roadmap for testing your project. It states what needs to be tested and why. It shows how testing will be done, including strategies and methods. It sets timelines and deadlines for testing phases. It lists specific goals and criteria for success. It estimates the effort, resources, and costs needed. It identifies the people, tools, and environments required. Imagine you're building a new website. Your test plan will detail what needs testing, how you'll test it, when each test will happen, how much time and resources are needed, and who's involved. Next slide, please. So, why is test plan creation important? So, first reason we have is reduction in defects. It identify and mitigate defects early on the project life cycle. Improved quality. Studies indicate that projects equipped with thorough test plans generally experience reduced development and maintenance expenses. Identifying and addressing issues in the early stages is more economical compared to dealing with them after the software release. So, third, we have the resource utilization. Data indicates that the presence of a test plan facilitates improved planning and allocation of resources, averting bottlenecks and ensuring the efficient execution of testing activities. Next, we have faster time to market. The implementation of effective testing strategies specified in the plan plays a role in streamlining the development process. This leads to quicker time to market. Lastly, we have the mitigate risks. A well structured plan helps in identifying risks earlier in the process. These can be cross collaborative risks as well as risks that are internal to the team. Next slide, please. So, who needs test planning? Test plan is an important artifact which, when well drafted, can act as an anchor for the project development process. However, these personas benefit more from its creation. First, we have the developers who gets insights into the testing scope and requirements. This helps them anticipate the tests that will be executed in their code and understand the success criteria for testing. Second, we have the QAs who create and execute test cases to find bugs and document them. Test planning helps them establish testing strategies, allocate resources, and track the overall advancement of the testing process. Test plan functions as a roadmap for carrying out test cases, monitoring test advancements, and guaranteeing thorough coverage. So, next we have the project managers who use test plans to make informed decisions about release timelines, resource allocation, and overall product quality. It helps them coordinate release activities, assess customer impact, and foster effective collaboration between development and testing teams to deliver high quality software. Lastly, we have, next is the business analysts who ensure all the test cases are well aligned with the business requirements specs at every stage, keeping users' interest in mind. Through test planning, they get a clear version of the relevance of test cases with current user requirements. Next, we have the compliance team. They ensure that the testing procedures conform to predefined standards as per regulatory demands. Lastly, we have the support teams who communicate with users about known issues, provide timely solutions, and offer guidance on workarounds. Test plans helps them anticipate potential issues or bugs that have been identified during the testing phase and figure out their workarounds to help users. Next slide, please.
To add, Sad, can you go back? Thank you. So, test planning, guys, does not only involve sa industriya. Actually, here during our college years, um we are also or I don't know if kitudloan ba man but samo arid to sa UC or as early as now when you're having your third year, you need to have your test plan, particularly on the testing tables or the testings that you need to do with your project PCs. So unsa may purpose sa test plan? So test plan is to ensure that the product or the service that you have provided to your clients will be, of course, of the highest quality, and dili siya ingon nga daghag bugs or unsa. So kana siya, i-maintain gyud ninyo at tanan nga testing nga nang buhaton na unsa man nga klase sa testing, sirs. So actually there are a lot of testings, no, particularly stress testing, ay ana, unit testing, correct, kung sa software pa na. So if nana siya murag kumbaga expected results o actual nga results ay ana. So for example, ini-click na ko sa button, dapat moadto ni siya sa home page sa akong website. Pero when you are doing the actual ng testing, pag test nimo, uy, pag press na ko sa button kay instead of going home, nibalik siya sa kanang ni go back siya sa previous nga page. So kana inyo nang i-work out, inyo nang pangitaan og work around nga kana masulbad gid siya. Okay? So I think that will be all. You may continue.
Thank you for that, sir. So, next slide, please. Now, let's proceed to the test planning process. The test planning process is about getting ready to test software effectively. So, it involves first, we have the first process, which is the review and analyze the requirements. So, in this initial step, The testing team carefully examines the project requirements. This involves not only understanding what is the system's functionality, features, and user expectations, but also identifying any implicit or unstated requirements. By conducting a thorough analysis, the testing team ensure that the testing efforts align closely with the project goals and user expectations. So example, ani kay panalitan magbuhat mo kaning web application. So ang requirements ani kay might include kaning user authentication, data input forms, and report generation features. So sunod, we have the define scope testing. So defining the scope of testing involves determining the boundaries and objectives of the testing process. This includes identifying the features, functionalities, and components of the system that will be tested. By clearly defining the scope, the testing team can focus their efforts on areas that are most critical to the project's success, thereby optimizing resources and maximizing test coverage. So example ani kay sa kanang mobile app testing project. So ang scope na might include kaning i-test ang functionality sa iOS or sa Android nga devices, but might also exclude testing on tablets. So third process, we have the design the test strategy according to the scope. So once the scope of testing is established, the next step is to develop a comprehensive test strategy. This involves deciding on the most appropriate testing methodologies, techniques, and approaches to achieve the testing objectives within the defined scope. The test strategy may include plans for functional testing, non-functional testing, regression testing, and any other relevant testing types based on the project requirements. Uh, Fourth, we have the identify the required tools for testing and management. So testing tools play a crucial role in facilitating efficient and effective testing activities. So during this step, the testing team identify the tools and software needed to support various aspects of the testing process, such as test case management, test automation, defect tracking, and performance monitoring. By selecting the right tools, the team can streamline testing activities and improve productivity. Fifth, we have the estimate the test effort and team. So estimating the test effort involves assessing the resources, time, and personnel required to execute the testing activity successfully. So this includes estimating the number of test cases, test scripts, and test data needed, as well as determining the skills and expertise required from the testing team members. So by accurately estimating the test effort, the team can plan and allocate resources effectively, ensuring that testing activities are completed on time and within budget. So example of this is determining that automated testing will require initial setup time but will save effort in the long run due to faster test execution. So six, define test schedule. Developing a well-defined test schedule is essential for coordinating testing activities and ensuring timely delivery of the project. The test schedule outlines the timeline for executing different phases of testing, including test planning, test execution, defect resolution, and test closure. So by establishing clear deadlines and milestones, the testing team can track progress, identify potential bottlenecks, and take corrective actions as needed to keep the project on track. So an example of this would be allocate 2 weeks for allocating 2 weeks for unit testing, followed by 3 weeks for integration testing before the beta release. So seven process is enablement enablement plan. So training and enablement activities are essential for ensuring that the testing team has the necessary skills and knowledge to perform their roles effectively. The enablement plan outlines the training needs for of the testing team and identifies the resources and materials required to address those needs. By investing in training and development, Organizations can enhance the competency and confidence of their testing team members, leading to improved testing outcomes. So, like providing training sessions on new testing tools or methodologies to ensure that the team is well prepared for the project. 8, we have the determine and procure the test environment. So, creating a suitable test environment is crucial for conducting realistic and reliable testing activities. During this step, the testing team identifies the hardware, software, and infrastructure needed to support testing activities, including any specific configurations or setups required. So, by ensuring that the test environment closely mirrors the production environment, the team can uncover potential issues early in the testing process and minimize the risk of deployment failures. So, example, ani kay kanang setting up virtual machines with different operating systems para ma-test ang software compatibility. So 9, we have the identify test metrics. So test metrics provide valuable insights into the effectiveness and progress of testing activities. So during this step, the testing team identifies the key performance indicators or the KPIs that will be used to measure the quality, coverage, and efficiency of the testing process. Common test metrics include test coverage, defect density, test execution project progress, and testing efficiency. So by tracking and analyzing these metrics, the team can identify areas for improvement and make data-driven decisions to optimize the testing process. So an example would be the cunning tracking metrics such as test coverage, percentage, defect density, and test execution time. So lastly, we have the create, last process will be the create the software test plan, reviews, and approval. So the software test plan serves as a comprehensive document that outlines the overall approach to testing for the project. It includes detailed information about the testing objectives, scopes, strategies, schedules, resources, and metrics. Before testing activities commence, the test plan is reviewed by relevant stakeholders, including project managers. Okay lang, sorry for that. So before testing activities commence, the test plan is reviewed by relevant stakeholders, including project managers, developers, and quality assurance professionals. So once the test plan is approved, the testing team can proceed with confidence knowing that their testing efforts are aligned with the project goals and expectations. So, like ang kuanan ni kay presenting the test plan document to project managers, developers, and quality assurance leads for feedback and approval before testing begins. Next slide, please. So now let's proceed to project commissioning. So project commission, what is project commissioning? So project commissioning is the process of assuring that all systems and components of a project are designed, installed, tested, operated, and maintained according to the operational requirements of the owner or final client. This process may be applied not only to new projects, but also to existing units and systems subject to expansion, renovation, or revamping. Project commissioning is a critical phase in the life cycle of a project, ensuring that it is completed successfully and ready for operation. It requires careful planning, coordination, and execution to ensure that all systems perform as intended and meet the needs of the project stakeholders. So that's all for my report. Now let's proceed to the next report, which will be Mr. Lawrence Ibarra to shed light to us about the project handover and its report.
So, thank you, Miss Toto. Madunggan ako, guys.
Tungobra.
Sige, sige, thank you. So, start ako. So, uh, as we proceed to like production or even transfer of like project management, as we have done project commission and testing, how do we document that everything that happened or will happen or like ang whole plan jud sa project after its testing. So dira na mosud ang project handover and its report. So next slide please. So we need the handover to ensure a smooth transition from one team to another, whether it's maybe the testing team or the production team or even other teams to handle the project's development. So it is really needed kay it states the current situation or operation of the project and what are the possible needs or possible things nga it is done in the project to like obtain the stakeholders acceptance like unsa jud ang purpose ani nga project. So next slide please. So as the handover process, there are essentials in this transition. So when you transition, what are the essentials? So next slide. So first, project charter. So what do you mean? Why is it essential? Why do we need the project charter in transitioning? So it is the initiation document sa atong project. Obtain the official documents that outline the project's objectives, scope, and initial plans. It is really needed jud para makita gani sa next team or sa next team unsa jud ang purpose like overview sa project. Next is business case information. So you collect the details explaining why the project is necessary, including the benefits, costs, and potential risks, and signed copies from the initial uh, creation of the project, especially ang documents that relate to the project's initial agreements para ensure clarity on which copies are officially signed. Gather all change requests, compile a comprehensive list of any requested modifications, especially in like in revamps or in like improvements, especially when fixing bugs after production, post production. Then define the roles at the client's office. So clarify who holds the key positions at the client's organization. So why is this needed? Like, why do we need to define the key roles in project handover? Because, like, while example, if your project is software oriented, of course, mas mauna jud ang software development kaysa let's say hardware developers. So nana like nage siya hierarchy of roles depending sa imuhang project. So list contacts and communication details. So document contact information for relevant individuals and specify how you often communicate with them and what topics you discuss. So usually ani mga stakeholders na to like usually ang mga uh, mga gipang contract na to nga mga contractuals ba na like company and such para sa tong mga materials or resources. And so as the project handover na gyud takes over or the new team takes over, you introduce the new project manager to clients and teams, facilitate introductions between the new manager and both clients and delivery teams to ensure a smooth transition. So like imo lang jud i-introduce ang new team, uh usually ang project ani and such like unsa jud purpose, what is said pag first gyud. So next is suggest next steps for the new PM, so the project manager. So you provide guidance on immediate actions or priorities for the incoming project manager to ensure a successful continuation of the project. This is very important, especially in revamps or in post production testing and debugging process kay para lang like since ang previous nga team kay nana jud sila like whole experience in regards to this development, so like they can truly suggest what is the needed actions to take for the other team. So next slide please. So how do we keep and track the current conditions of positions in the handover process? So yes, we need a documentation. So di lang ta magstorya-storya. So we really need a document. Next slide. So a project handover report is needed. Next. So there are four key components in this document. So first, you must define the ongoing tasks, list current tasks being worked on by each team along with their deadlines. And when you say deadlines, imo sa ipakita ang upcoming deadlines, like usually important deadlines or milestones, or even like the final production date. And forthcoming events identifies significant events related to the project, such as meetings or lunches. So like meetings regarding, like example, like before production, if nasatisfy ba nato ang project outcomes, or ay ang project outcomes and project objectives, nasatisfy ba nato. Then next, ang distinct roles specifies key roles within each team and the responsibilities in overseeing the project. So as we mentioned, as we go to the handover process, dapat makabaw jud ang each role sa ilahang task gyud to be made at hand. So we have an example of a project handover report. It's not really detailed. It's not really but it is it gives overview or a sense of like, or the essence of what should a project handover look like. So as you can see, like ni-define siya sa work teams like development team and marketing team. Roles and responsibilities, software development, uh, like ipakita lang jud ang each role para makabaw jud sila. But usually sa handover na gid makita gyud nimo ang like let's say ang software developer, like ang ibutang dira kay siya jud mo oversee sa development sa project, and ang marketing team like uh, need ba siya mo himo og presentation to promote this product. Then ang ongoing task kay mo na siya ang like not really current situation sa project but current situation sa mga sa project in terms sa gabuhat ng project. Then the upcoming deadlines, it is basically self-explanatory, and forthcoming events like usually meetings, journey, and launching. Then uh, usually like after for or post production na dyan ay webinars like terms of task exercise process. Like kana. So yeah, after like production kay usually iadto man gina sa webinars to promote sad, like usually ang moadto ana ang CEO, which naka-experience me daghan, especially sa mga webinars, daghan kina sila i-promote before the webinar starts. So distinctive roles, like diri mo na ni sila ang same ra gyapon sa roles and responsibilities, but it's more kuan gani like detailed, in which what that person should do sa kuan sa project, like overview sa ilahang buhatonon. So that's all. Like this is a very, it's not really detailed and wala sa siya specifying a project, but it serves as an overview gani to create a project handover document. So thank you. Nindot jud siya, sir.
Also to add about sa katong project handover, guys. Particularly, so the name itself, project handover. So the project will be handover to the next nga team baron, or actually situational kayo na ang project handover kay wingon tag project handover na okay na tanan, so you will be handing over the project to your clients na, like complete na siya. And then if na concern si client is after sales na ang kung ana mo trabaho ana, or usually after sales or support nga mo help sa clients if na sila yung mga problems and whatever is silang na sa gubang. Kung like, for example sa software, if software nga products ang inyohang buhat. So ang after sales na ninyo or inyong support is kana kamoy mo kuan if naara ba ni bug or naa ni siya error kaning dapita. So kana usually sa ko experience ang tawag na ang term na is backlogs. So katong mga support, mga programmers ana kay sila ang mo tiwas, or sila ang mo kanang mo maintain sa project nga nabuhat na or na okay na. And also, nasa tayo gitawag nga project handover nga let's say the team is currently transition to another project manager. So katong gi-explain kanina. So diha ang project i handover niya ngadto sa bag-o nga PM and to his or her nga unsay nga na ni team pod. So project handover is tanan nga documents nga or tanan nga gipambuhat ninyo sa inyong project bisan hasta ang inyong unsay nga na initial ninyo nga meeting or discussions i-appeal sa na siya. Para sad ang katong magdawat sa inyong project is dili sad siya mabuang og kuan nga asa naman siya dapita. So mura ra gud nagkamugod or kita as computer engineering or computer engineers pohon kaloy-an sa Ginoo. If aray mo sa software industry, di ba, mas maayo man gyud nga ang project nga handover sa tua kay kung kung source code lang na ay mga comments. So at least makaibaw ta asa ta magsugod. So yung ana ra sa na siya kasagaran. Unya mostly ang katong giingon kanina, some projects or kanang mga projects nga i-present based on the project handovers or documents will be presented usually on webinars and seminars. So sakto tinuod na siya and I would suggest if naa gani mga free webinars or free seminars, attend gid mo ana. Kay gawas sa certifications or unsay nga na kanang certificate of attendance, usually naasa na sila yung mga freebies or kanang raffles. So ako nakasuway ko pag sa I think that was last year man siguro. Dito mi sa kanang hotel bitaw dapit sa Ayala. Kanang tapad anang Mandarin Hotel. So diha mi aton ya. Ang kato is unsa to murag AutoCAD man siguro to o katong unsay nga ana nga kumpanya ay murag sister company sa Nangkay. Nga ilahang gi-present ilahang mga products dito like kanang ATM kanang bitaw mo transact ka sa mall nga using your debit or credit card. So na sila ato nya. Kami nagtesting sa bito mura sad mi dito og kanang correct nga nagtesting sa ilahang mga products. Malingaw sad ka ba in a sense nga ta ka sa actual nga mao din ni kuan din nya dili sad bitaw ka ignorant. Nya mo sila yung paraffle nya nakadaog og headset. So mo to kaning headset nga akong gigamit karon nga nag-discuss. So mo ni ang ako nadaogan. So Plantronics nga headset. So gawas sad ana na usahay na free raffles na pagi free kaon. So first time na ako nakakaog kuan kana mga Italian nga pagkaon daw char. Itaw so kato siya. Unya kato lang murag another example nga pwede natong i-relate sa inyo ha is kana pohon inig research thesis ninyo kay inyohang documents kuan ra bagay na. So at least man lang the future researchers nga ganahan i-reference sa inyong project, they will be thankful sad sa inyo ha nga may gani nindot kayo pagkahamutang nila ate kuya ilang documents. So dali ra namo masabtan or dali ra mi makasanong sa unsa mong project about. Sige. So I think that will be all. So you may continue.
So the next topic that will be discussed will be about documentation for products. So about technical slash product documentation. So before we proceed, uh, first describe. So what is documentation? So a collection of documents that the project manager creates during the project's development process. So it follows certain procedure and guidelines for such documentation. So kan documentation importante dyan na when it comes to a project kay mao na murag guide sa user og sa concept sa nagbuhat sa project. So there are two types of project documentation. So process documentation of technical slash product documentation. So process documentation, so it reports the process of the project, so or the process of the development. So again sa pagbuhat ang inyong unsa nay asa na mo dapit sa inyong project amo na siya process documentation ug unsa ang way sa pagbuhat sa inyong project. So next is the technical slash product documentation. So this speaks about the sa sa mga how to perform your product. So this describes the product instructions on how to perform it. So it talks about the product being developed. So here's like a flow chart which speaks about project documentation. So here is the process documentation, which speak about plans, estimates, schedules, reports, and metrics. So work papers, so ang standard sa inyong process So about sa quality. Next is the product documentation. So there's two categories that falls under product documentation. So which is the system documentation, the user documentation, which will be described later. So next, what is technical/product documentation? So it explains the use, functionality, creation, or architecture of a product. As such, it serves as a guide for people who needs to know how the product works. So basically, mura na siya kanang guide or more tutorial, ana ba? Kanto para sa magbasa like sa mga users, sa QA ninyo, sa different developers. So basically sa tanan tao involved ana mo siya ang nag-describe. So how does the product works? So there are two kinds of technical/product documentation. So system documentation and user documentation. So we'll go first with system documentation. So system documentation is intended to help programmers and system analysts. Kana sir, mga user manual. Obviously mga kuan siya, guide siya sa mga users and people involved. So system documentation is intended to help programmers and system analysts understand the application and allows them to maintain it after the system is installed. So, but it is a byproduct of the system analysis and design process and is created as the project unfolds. So each step and phase produces documents that are essential in understanding how the system is built or it is to be built. So basically, kora siya kanang how is the system going to be built? Commercial system documentation. So what falls under product system documentation or technical documentation? So the product requirement documentation, design architecture, agile product roadmaps, source code documentation, user experience design documentation, testing documents, help and maintenance. So I will be. So mo siya sa architecture, so structure of the system, sir, sa yung functionalities, mo siya, dili na siya describe sa system documentation. So first I'll describe each process here. So first, the product requirement documentation. It provides information about the system functionality and often contains the roles of the project participant. So information na siya sa system ganyo or product inyong gibuhat sa a role sa each one. This often includes project participants, objectives, assumption, and user story. So I will be describing kanang nasa example diri nga kwan sa usa ka mobile web project nga gibuhat sa usa ka certain company. So first, ambot lang ko maklaro ba? But essentially, first it talk about the role. So here we can see the document owner, designer, developers, and QA. So Mitch Davis, kasi Owens, kanang mga taong involved. And team goals. So goals sa team. So unsa may ilang kuan? Ilang goals nasa gi-describe diri. So, or oftentimes, involved din na siya sa product requirement document. So, next is the background and strategic fit. So, kanang sa usa sa recommended nga as inyong product requirement document. So, kanang this describes unsa man ang background sa study. So, ari sa mobile web application nga example. So, this explains the about sa nganong nagbuhat sa mobile web application. So we all know mobile is on the rise. So kana basta ilang gi-describe dira nganong nagbuhat sa mobile web application. Next is the assumption sa inyong studies. So wala siya sa example diri but assumption. So unsa may mga goal nga inyong gi-achieve ana nga particular nga product. So next is the user story. So kani mo na sa importante nga part sa inyong product requirement documentation. So user story. So unsa may kailang ginahan sa inyong mga users na naa sa inyong product. So kani sa example makita to ang sa requirement sa user story is a Facebook integration. So mga user wants to sign up via Facebook. So basically daghan sa na siya kwan unsa may different nga requirement sa inyong user sa inyong particular nga product. So nasa siya kwan priority. So unsa may priority, high ba siya priority or low? Necessary mo sa ka product kung para properly shared ang inyong cover resources. So nasa notes yun. So para sa pag-integrate lang Facebook integration sa lang product nga web application. Next is nasa confidence mo mag-add acceptance criteria sa inyong product requirement document. So these are the conditions that indicate a user story is completed. So the main purpose of acceptance criteria is to define a satisfactory result for usage scenario from the end user nga perspective. So next is mag-add mo sa inyong user interaction design. So UI ninyo. So Kung simple ko nga kung nagpakita unsa inyong front so login screen para sa ni login screen sa mock up o sila kung sa activity screen dayon. Next is the questions. Also may different questions kaya inyong ma-face sa inyong product sa inyong product. So example ani question to be addressed as a result of the requirements document. So sila silang question ani kay what about Google Apps, ang mga support sa different devices, and should we have an offline mode. So lastly is the priority. Oh yes, so muna siya. So refer to a specification to the product kana sa kung ang gi-describe ni Sir David. So yes, we'll be doing also common functionalities nga ma-observe sa inyong product. Next is the not doing. So muna last inyong i-add sa inyong recommend sa inyong product requirement document. So unsa may dili nyo buhaton. So naman dyan na limitations ang inyong project. So asa mo photo ba? Dapat i-listen na ninyo sa inyong product requirement document. So next is the design and architecture. So design and architecture. So basically focus siya sa user experience design, so UX design o sa kanang architecture sa inyong product. So basically the how ang say now sa inyong product on sa pagbuhat anang particular nga design. So mo siya ang design and architecture. So details the user experience design includes the research, prototyping, and usability of the system design and reference with the user. So based na siya sa unsa may references sa mga users sa imong ginahan. So daghan kan siya research involved when it comes to UX design. So kung magbuhat mo UX user experience design, mag-include sa mo kanang inyong product nga visual scheme na ma-represent sa connection sa tanang pages ng products niya. Also user flow or user journey schemes to help the team to map the steps a user will or should take through the whole product. So the main task of a user flow scheme is to pick the possible steps a user may take going from page to page. So kana mura siya nasa involved nga psychology gamay. So kay mura siya i-detail kung unsa may pathway nga possible it takes in yung mga users. So wireframes are the blueprints for future UI. So basically wireframes are schemes that should show how to arrange the elements on the page and how they should behave. So unsa ang so next is the mock-ups. So mock-ups the next product design stage. So after you finish ang mga wireframe, so unsa may kuan nyo sa inyong sa user flow, ang mock-up na sa next. So it shows the actual look and feel of a product. There are static images representing the final product sa design. Design sa inyong final product. So kaning kasagaran nyo makita ni kay mag-Figma, dali mga Figma kana siya kay mo na magamit sa design kay ara na siya murag makita ang flow sa users niya kamo maka-design sa mo sa inyong mock-up ana. So mo na siya. So next is the architecture. So architecture design, it documents on the details on how to build the product. So it is an effective design architecture document comprises the following information and sections. So dapat na may overview and background sa inyong architecture. So briefly describes the main goals of the project and what problems are you trying to solve and the results you want to achieve. So basically gamay ra nga background ba nganong anang particular nga design nga inyong goal. So i-describe the main goals sa project niyo. So next is architecture and design principles. So it underlines the guiding architecture and design principles with which you will engineer your product. So basically focus siya sa mga principles sa architecture nga unsaon niyo connection sa architecture ug engineering sa inyong product. Next is the user story description. So it connects user stories with associated business processes and related scenarios. So based sa user stories. So user stories muna siya ang kung sa'yo ma-experience sa inyong user while using the particular product. So next, lastly is the solution detail. So it describes the contemplated solution by listing plans, services, modules, components, and their importance. So basta ari na describe ang mga plano niyo nga mga services or mga components kung sa'y importansya sa inyong particular nga product. So ari na siya mali sa architecture. Next is the agile product roadmap. So it documents the vision, strategy, and all goals of the project and also allows the course of the development to be in sync sa inyong initial sa goals. So araw dili din mo sig ka wala dali sa inyo ang kuan aim jud nga initial goal, having a product roadmap is a necessary necessary sa inyong document. So next is a source code document, so a technical section which basically explains how the code works in your product. So it often covers areas in the code that could potentially confuse people reading. So dili siya yung highly necessary ang source code document unless complex sa kayo in yung code. So this ang often users aning source code document ay kana yung mga software engineers ba kasi sila ba mo code sa product. So dapat sila sa mag-describe sa ilang own code nga lang gigamit o para sa kanang uban dali nga mo code makasabot sa sila ba nga unsa ni tabuan nga area nga makasumpay din sila. So mo na siya ang source code document nganong necessary na siya. Next is the testing document. So a document that describes the software testing approach to achieve testing objectives. So para basically katong tong i-describe kaniha tong mga testing. So ari siya kana ang documentation ani ari na siya nga part. So this includes information about the team structure and the resources prioritized during testing. It is usually kung siya static siya kay ara naman define ang entire development scope. So what evolves here are quality management plans, test strategy, test plan niya. Wala sa mga other kay sang kanang test case o test checklist. So ako sa describe kaning each tool na ako na isulti ang test case and test checklist. So quality management plan. So it documents sets the required standard for product quality and describes the methods to achieve this level. So mainly used sa siya sa large scale projects. Basically, it's also an analog of a requirement document dedicated sa testing dito siya. So mura siya similar sa product requirement document nga katong mga necessary except mas focus siya sa testing sa product unlike sa atong product requirement document nga focus sa unsay required nga ma-achieve sa inyong document. So next is the test strategy. So a document that describes the software testing approach to achieve testing objectives. So this includes information about team structure and resources resource needs along with what should be prioritized during testing. So aray na mo magkwalista sa yung strategy. So sa asa nga part ang mas need og dakog resources para sa testing. So mas dakog team ang mas expert nga team ang ana nga particular nga test functionality nga mo test ana certain functionality. So it is usually a static as well as a strategy is defined for the entire development scope. So static siya wala ka na changes ang test strategy kay once maka decide naman na ara naman jud mo ara mo ma-divide inyong resources o work first. Next is a test plan. So test plan is just a document that describe what should be tested at the moment. So mura siya schedule type scheduling ninyo ba unsa mga sa mga testing ang inyong ibuhat ana nga moment no na usay next sa test ninyo muna siya test plan. Okay. So next is the test case specification sa document. Was a set of detailed actions to verify each feature or functionality of a product. So wala na ko diri but basically test case specification document. So unsa ra ko niyo? It basically details ang unsay mga actions nga inyong gipang buhat para ma-achieve ang certain nga functionality sa inyong product. So what did you do something like that. So test checklist is a list of tests that should be run at a particular time. So mura siya under sa test plan. So test checklist kay mura siya basically kanang name din niya test checklist. So mura siya checklist nga muli sa test nga unsa may gipang yung gipang run na nga particular nga time. Next is lastly is a health and maintenance. So last nga product / technical documentation. So it serves as a crucial resource for smooth operation and describes the known problems with the system and their step-by-step solution. Also includes the best practices in maintaining the system. So kanang health and maintenance ari na makita kanang mga Q&A ninyo sa inyong product sa right, nawala akong notes. But basically, serve as a crucial resource for smooth operation, describe the known problems. So, kana mga help, yung mga user manual, aris na pakita niya. Aris na pang-list, ano yung mga document, kanang, unsa may mga maintenance nga required sa inyong product, kay bisag kanan yung kanang program pang program ka code require bijag maintenance. So aray niyo list of so, mga potential problems yung system. Aray din niyo pang lista o mga possible solution ana nya kada sa kuan unsa man nga para ang system mo run gyapon after pila ka years unsa may possible nga maintenance kay imong i-give anang particular nga product ninyo mo siya health and maintenance. So kani siya kani para siya tanang tao sa nga involved ani including the users. So next is the user documentation. So after sa ato kuan technical sa system documentation is the kuan na user documentation. So it is designed to aid the users in operating the system. So o kani mas focus siya sa user katong last kay bisag na users involved mas focus ba siya sa team nga nagbuhat ng particular nga product. So next is the user documentation kani mas focus na siya sa kuan sa users sa jud og mo na guide nila. So it includes user manuals, training manuals and online help systems. So two categories and fall under this is the end user documentation and system admin documentation. So so ako na describe. So ang end user documentation kay mainly makunood wait. So basically end user documentation para na sa kanang mga users sa jud nga mogamit ani sa murag mo na sila ilhang tutorials, guide, mga references sila sa product ay para sa product and yung gibuhat. Next is the system admin documentation kay kana focus na siya mainly sa kinsa na mo maintenance sa product. So similar siya sa health and maintenance nga documentation but kani mainly sa kanang mga IT na ni siya nga mo maintenance sa inyong product mo na siya sa system admin documentation o kanang sa kuan sa kanang after nang buhat yung product i-com na igamit ba sa inyong client. So okay sa may handle ng particular nga okay sa may maintain ana mo ari na siya ari niya i-refer o kung ano sa possible niya buhaton sa system admin documentation. So next is the different types of technical documentation. So natay usual nga types of technical documentation nga panggamiton sa industry. So reference documentation, reference documents, procedure manuals and tutorials. So we describe so reference documents or the help system. So it is used when the user needs to learn a specific function, though this is often used when a user have failed to perform a function. So na siya gitrayan kung ang user na siya gitrayan nga certain function na dili mo gana, kapilan na gitrayan wala din mo gana. So ari din sila mo check dayon ang mga user. So reference document or sa help system. So usually ani mga sa kuan siya sa mga websites kay makita mga frequently asked question or mga mga sa FAQ ari nila makita ang usual nga kuan or kada mga sa online sa kanang na mga kang sa Microsoft na mga users nga mga tanan nga to sa nasa specific problem. So usually na mga developers sa Microsoft nga mo answer na. So ari na sila. So next is the procedures manual. So describe how to perform a business task with each step item guides a user through a series of steps or function. So ari na siya kan. So tagaan ang user kay kuan siya to enable the user to perform a certain task. Ari na siya mura siya guide na mo give the certain steps or functions. So mura similar siya sa tutorial but kani mura ra siya kanang unsa procedure para mabuhat ang particular nga task. Mino ang tutorial. So tutorial it teaches people how to use a major component of the system. So each entry is usually designed to be read in a sequence. So kani ang tutorial kay mainly kanjo na sa unsang paggamit ang product or system ninyo. So it is designed to be read in a sequence. So kung mag-tutorial mo dili ba mo mag-skip og particular nga step kay basin masaag din mo. So mo na siya. Kung magkuan mo sa inyong tutorials dapat pagkuan na step by step din mo sa inyong pag-follow ana. Kay ikaw na para dili mo mga saag or maguba pa jud ang product if pataka ra mo kuan buhat sa inyong gibuhat dira. So next is the kuan siya. So lastly is ako na. So here are the guidelines for writing technical documentation. So natay ko na rin guidelines. So nasa ta example. So before gi-apply ang guidelines, so after gi-apply ng guidelines. So here you must use the active voice. So active voice creates more active and readable text by putting the subject at the start of sequence. So here is examples of finding tunes is done by using the tune title, the artist name, or a genre music. So find the tune after to gi-apply active voice. So find the tune by the tune title, the artist name, or a music genre. So kita amurag na simple na to ang sentence Kaya aton man giat ang subject sa start sa sequence. The verb in the middle siya. So next I use E prime na style. So E prime style creates more active writing by omitting all forms of verb to be. So ilang giwagtan nam tanang verb to be sa sentence. So before the guideline sample ni. So the text you want to copy must be selected before you click on the copy button. So mapa-simple niya. So instead the text you want to copy, taas mo kay na. So ilang gipamubo. So select the text you want to copy before you click on the copy button. So, ilang nga mas simple dali sa basically focuses sa grammar sa inyong documentation para mas dali siya mabasa. Next, use consistent terms. Always use the same term to refer to the same items rather than switching among synonyms. So, kung magkano mo sa documentation, stick na dyan mo sa usa ka particular nga word. Kaya kung sige mo synonym, malibog siya unsay gi-reference ana ang nagbasa. Kaya wala mo nagbuhat og essay, nagbuhat mo documentation. So, kapalan ni, so select the text you want to copy. So, pressing the copy button will copy the marked text to the new location. So, after ito, so select the copy text you want to copy. Press the copy button to copy the selected text. Press the paste button to place the text into the new location. So kuan siya kay para mas detailed sa dato ang documentation dali. So mo na siya magamit siya consistent nga terms. Dili tang shortcut sa. So next is the use simple language. So you always use the simplest language possible to clearly convey the meaning. So this doesn't mean to dumb down the message, but to no need to just artificially pa-complex pa din yung text ba. So kung madala na dali nga mas simple yung text, so madala yung bubuan na dito yung text para dali tara ang mapagbasa ba. So para niyo, ang sample na ni like ang first sample nagamit siya 56 words. So kay daghang siya technicalities nga mga words ba gipa try pa yung complex. So instead of anang 56 words, pwede ito mapasible nga mahimo na 29 words ato magamit sa tuwang technical documentation. Yes sir, kana sir. So simple og direct mo sa point ba. No need to para di maglibog sa amo basa. Next is a use-friendly language. So too often documentation is called in sterile because it is written in a very formal manner. Oh, yes sir. So para mas straight ang importante mo na siya. So kani use-friendly so remember you're writing for a person, not a computer. So kani siya wala man to nagahot og computer prompt diya. So try to be kanang friendly og kanyang approach ba. So kapag the blank tests have been provided to you by the operations department, it is suggested that you make backup copies of all essential data to ensure that your data are not lost. So murag computerized kayo nga type sa text. So we can improve it by making it a bit more friendly para sa mabasa. So make a backup copy of all kasani. So after ko na friendly language ato, so make a backup copy of all data that is important to you. So mura taga storage sa tao ba. If you need more diskettes, contact the operations department. So mura taga storya directly sa tao. Wala ato murag static kay nga type sa pagstorya ba or pag-document. So next, use parallel grammatical structures. So kung mag-document mo sa inyong product, dapat form kuno na kanang sa word basta kanang similar di sila tanan ba, ayo pag change mong style sa pag-document kay or change mong grammar nga style. So parallel grammatical structures indicate a similarity among items and lists and help the reader understand the content. So kung sige change mong na chance nga maglibog sa ang user ba unsay unsay buhatonon na. So prasa ni opening files, saving a document, of how to delete files. So pwede ito ma-improve to a much simpler nga siya, mas dali siya masabtan. Kay similar siya grammatical structure each. So opening a file, saving a file, deleting a file. So since the similarities, mas direct siya basahon sa para sa user. So next, use steps correctly. So novices often enters action and the result of actions when describing a step-by-step process. So steps are always actions. So kanang sa inyong steps dapat medyo detailed sa mo kay biya sa inyong boboto simple pero detail, simple siya pero direct siya laho sa inyo ba goal nga steps yung buhaton nun. So basta ni press the customer button, dapat detail sa mo bisag simple siya pero detailed gapon ang pag-describe So the customer dialog will appear. So next is the type the customer ID and press the submit button, the customer record will appear. So mura siya lacking gapon ba para sa user dali nabay chance na maglibog na sila. Next is so kung atong siyang ipa detailed gamay itong steps, so press the customer button, type the customer ID in the customer dialog box when it appears. Next is press the submit button to view the customer record for this customer. So kanisa iya sang gipa step by step jud ang pagkamba ang makita sa user. Instead ani nga kuan sa usa ka particular po sa number 3 sa before na duha ka step involved nga dapat usaran ta. So sa after dali sa second nga example ilan ang gibuwag ang kuan ang duha ka step para mas simple siya sa user, dili siya maglibog kung sa iyang buhaton sa each step na buhaton nila. So yeah, so muna siya ang mga guidelines for writing technical nga documentation. So here's the last topic.
So I'll be discussing project closing and its issues in project closeout. So next slide, please. So of all the processes that has been discussed, what's the final stage, DI? So project closing is the final stage of a project where everyone agrees the work is complete. It involves confirming that the project achieved its intended business benefits and that all project management processes were followed. And in this stage, key tasks include gaining approval from sponsors and customers, wrapping up contracts and procurement, releasing project resources, documenting lessons learned, and smoothly transferring deliverables to the customer, which I will be discussing further in the next slides. So next slide, please. So kada project closing kay maghimo ta og closeout report, and this closeout report will signify first project has come to an end. So a project conclusion. And this means that the closeout report signifies the official end of the project, indicating that no further funds or resources are required for its completion. And this also allows stakeholders to understand that the project objectives have been achieved and that related activities can now end. Second is business operations will continue as normal. And this one means that following the project's conclusion, business operations will resume as they were before the project began. Team members who were allocated to the project will return to their respective departments, restoring the workforce to its pre-project structure. And last one, contracts are terminated. So contracts established with suppliers specifically for the project will be terminated. This involves closing any agreements or commitments made with external parties, aligning with the project's closure and resource reallocation. Next slide, please. So one thing na makatabang nato makasiguro na project closure is official is to have a project closure checklist. So what is presented is an example. However, we can also actually customize this checklist magdepende sa project. And this is important because it helps ensure that all necessary tasks are completed before officially ending a project. It helps confirm or guides us that nothing important is overlooked, such as finalizing documentation, closing contracts, and archiving project files. Next slide. So during a project closing, there are several closing activities must be considered to have. And first is formal completion recognition. This means everyone involved in the project agrees that the project is done and meets the requirements. Second, benefits validation. This involves checking to make sure the project achieve the expected positive outcomes or advantages for the business or organization. Third is project management process assurance. This ensures that all the steps and method used to manage the project were followed correctly and effectively. And fourth, project compliance assessment. Th- um, this is an activity where we review to see if the project team followed the planned processes and guidelines as agreed upon. And fifth, sponsor and customer approval. Getting approval and support from the project sponsor, the person na nag-fund sa project, and the customer, the person or organization receiving the project's results, that the work is complete and satisfactory. Next slide. So six, procurement closure. Closing out any purchasing or contracting activities related to the project, ensuring all agreements are fulfilled. Seven, resource disbandment. Releasing the team members and other resources used in the project so they can move on to other tasks or projects. Eight, lessons learned. Documenting what went well during the project and what could be improved for future projects based on the experience and challenges encountered during that project. And lastly, deliverables transition, handing over the project's outcome, like products or reports, to the customer in a smooth and organized manner. So, importante ni siya ng mga activities for wrapping up a project successfully and to ensure that the goals are met, resources are utilized efficiently, and lessons are learned for future uses. Next slide. So while in the final stage of a project, there are also issues that we might encounter. So one is the team failed to plan out the closeout phase and is attempting to plan and execute the closeout at the same time. And one solution to this is to include the closeout planning from the start, integrating it with the overall project development. Second issue is team members start to leave the team before the closeout phase is completed because they do not understand all that has to be done and their roles in the closeout. So it is really important for the team member to understand what their role are in the project. And to prevent this issue, the project manager should inform the team early on about the closeout activities, emphasizing the importance of everyone's involvement to build team unity. Next slide. So third issue that we might encounter during a project closeout is wherein the functional managers start to withdraw their team members before the closeout is complete. And this is an issue because in upper management briefings, the project manager should stress the significance of completing all closeout activities with the full team and request functional managers not to withdraw the team's members prematurely. So the last issue that we might encounter is the team surfaces a number of unresolved issues or uncompleted work packages or unacceptable deliverables. And if the project has unresolved issues or incomplete work, it's not truly finished. So dili na to makonsider na kanang nahuman na jud ang project. The project manager may need to remain involved after team disbandment to address this issue. And to prevent this issue as well, the project manager should maintain regular communication with the customer, especially during the approval phase, ensuring all work and issues are addressed and documented promptly. So in conclusion sa among report, the project handover and closure helps ensure a smooth transition of deliverables to the customer or organization. And by finalizing all activities, resolving outstanding issues, and obtaining necessary approvals, the project is formally completed, allowing resources to be reallocated and lessons learned documented for future projects.
All right. So thank you once again. This is group 4 no, guys. Group 4 ni nga reporter.
Yes,
So once again,
group
thank
5, sir.
you. Ah, group 5. Sorry, group 5. Sige. So thank you guys. Let's give a virtual round of applause for our reporters for this morning. So by tomorrow, we will have our semifinals for Introduction to AI. And we will also have our semifinals on Wednesday, both subjects. So please be early by tomorrow. Kay basig kuha na sa tadiri sa ato ang classroom. Kaya mga first year man ko nun eh. So for our attendance, I just get a screenshot of our Google Meet kay milag ang ako ang messenger good ako tani i-save dito. Well anyways, so that will be all for this morning guys. Thank you for attending today's class. See you around by tomorrow. Please study. So reporters also please if it's okay with you, reporters of group 1 and 2 for introduction to AI, please upload your PowerPoints in the Google Drive that I have presented in our GC Manata or sa to ang Google Classroom. So i-upload lang ninyo para matun-an sa inyong mga classmates. Okay? Thank you guys. See you around. Amping mo kanunay. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.